The George Floyd case, as well as the controversy over the shooting death in Breonna Taylor in Louisville, have police facing scrutiny and some criticism. And that is some local agencies doubling down on their training. News4Jax reporter Vic Micolucci spoke with law enforcement officers at multiple agencies about what they're doing to keep the peace and build a rapport with the community. Vic is joining us now live. Vic?
And Tarek, I've spoken with police officers and sheriff's deputies all throughout Northeast Florida today, and they tell me they all condemn the actions that ultimately took the life of George Floyd, and they are here to keep peace and keep the communities safe. They do agree that there does need to be some sort of police presence around the area, especially with this protest, but they know that they have to address it very delicately.
Rewarding, I think, is the best answer I can give.
Jacob Desue is Bradford County's newest sheriff's deputy, and he's joining the force at a divisive time.
I'm black and I'm white. That's where my nationality comes from. I've always dealt with discrimination, even at a younger age.
He sees both sides of the story right now when it comes to the nationwide protests, and he hopes to use his badge as a go-between for the people and police.
If they know my story and they know where I come from, then that would help them to understand the world around them.
Police conduct under a microscope right now, with citizens claiming brutality, racism, and unlawful arrests. Bradford County is admittedly very different than Minneapolis, Atlanta, even Jacksonville. It's a rural area with about 30,000 people. But residents here say there is still some unrest and racial tension. We saw deputies training in Stark today, learning how to deal with conflicts and de-escalation.
Get down, let me see your hands. Let me see your hands.
You can't wait till something happens to engage. That had to be a process that started years before that. You know, you don't wake up one day and say, oh, we're going to fix it.
Sheriff Gordon Smith tells us his agency tries to be one with the community, and that commitment is reinforced with the deaths of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. How do you feel about that knee tactic? Holding somebody down?
We don't train that way. Putting a knee in someone's neck, we learn about the head and neck as one of the most vulnerable areas. That's a last resort. That's if you're in a life death situation that you would even use something like that.
And Sheriff Smith adds that no-knock arrest warrants like what led up to the death of Breonna Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky, are also something that his agency tries to avoid if at all possible. And all of his deputies are wearing body cameras, plus they have dash cams in their patrol cruisers. He says that's all about transparency and building trust with the community. If there is an incident that appears to be dicey or controversial, they release that video almost right away. We're here in San Marco, where the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is on patrol. They are watching out for a planned protest tonight, which is supposed to start around 6 o'clock. Right now, a couple peaceful protesters have gathered in the area. We're live in Jacksonville. I'm Vic Micolucci, Channel 4, the local station.